Hey everyone, welcome back to Fred's Garage. Thanks for coming. What a beautiful day, huh? Winter's over. It's January 25th. I'm ready for the springtime. It's a great day to own a Ford Maverick. You know, Ford really hit it out of the park with this Maverick, man. They listened to the people. They gave everybody a subcompact truck. That's what people have been wanting for a long time. Not everybody needs a really, really big truck, you know? And by now, I'm sure you've seen the 2025 Maverick refresh, which is right here. Well, there's the 2025 in Desert Sand. The Tremor looks great. This is a white FX4. Everything except for those little flaps, Ford. Everybody loves it. I think the eruption green just looks spectacular. I mean, the Maverick's really made for eruption green. And that's coming from somebody who has an eruption green Bronco. It's a great color. And you know, Ford, you listen to the people. You fix the little things that everybody wanted fixed. And that's why we appreciate it. And that's why we love the Maverick. And you upgraded the interior. And you gave everybody what we all should have had since the beginning, was the real screen. Got rid of that little cubby that was on the right side. And Sync 4, because we all know our Sync 3 is kind of past due. But you did a great job, Ford, and she looks great. But this video isn't about the 2025 refresh. This video is about the future. And we can't forget about the Lobo, bringing back the compact sport truck. A lot of people looking forward to seeing that in real life, driving it around. But we'll get back to the Lobo in a few minutes when we talk about what we all want for the 2028 second generation Ford Maverick. But hey, there's a million videos comparing the 2023 Maverick to the 2025 Maverick. This isn't one of those videos. What this video is all about is the 2028 Maverick. So what I did was I reached out to a lot of Maverick owners and I said, hey, what do you guys want to see in the 2028 second generation Ford Maverick? Right, and I've got hundreds of responses. So what this video is going to be about is everything people want. And I tell you, Ford, I hope you watch it and I hope you pay attention because you made the people's car here. And one last thing, let's talk about price, okay? Hey, I was lucky. I got in on this hybrid for $19,995 with the few options that it had. But, you know, those days are long gone. So when people say, hey, bring back the $20,000 truck, that's never going to happen, okay? Everything costs more money. I mean, look at this right here. Don't you wish you could buy a Shelby Mustang leftover for $2,900? Or some of these other Fords that they were advertising in the 1970s? Those days are long gone. So let people order what they want for the price that they have to pay for it and not add on things that they don't want. And the Ford Maverick success is just going to go greater and greater. And look at this here. So this is pretty amazing if you think about it. The Ford Maverick in its third year came in second place. It only came in behind the Toyota Tacoma. And the Tacoma's been around for 30 years. And the reason this happened is because Ford gave the people what they wanted. People wanted a compact pickup truck that was good on gas, that allowed them to pick the options they wanted. They wanted a hybrid, they got a hybrid. They wanted a Tremor or a FX4 for off-road, they got that. Ford, keep up the great job. Let's get this party rolling. Let's see what everybody wants. Tell me if you agree or disagree in the comments, okay? And let's get started. So, you know, where should we start? I know. Let's start from the front and we'll work our way back. Come on over. Here's the first thing, Ford. It's what everybody wants. Separate the front bumper from the grille and the front fascia. So we can replace this front bumper with an aftermarket bumper. You do it on the Ford Lightning. We can add a winch. We can add a bull bar. You can put whatever bumper you want and give the Maverick a lot more protection. So that's one thing, Ford. Let's keep going. All right, Ford, this is number 2. You've been in business for over 100 years. What do you think all the boys and girls want, Ford? They want more horsepower. More horsepower, Ford. Add a little more horsepower to the Maverick. Yeah, so people want more horsepower. They've always wanted more horsepower. So on the 2-liter, increase the horsepower. On the hybrid side, you can either increase it on the engine, or better yet, on the electric motor size. put in a little bigger motor. But this is what most hybrid people would want. They'd want a plug-in hybrid with at least 20 to 30 mile range. Enough so they could plug it in overnight, drive around town, and not worry about using the gas at all. That's a great way to transition people over to electric. And talking about electric, the Ford Lightning, the F-150 Lightning hasn't really been that successful for you, Ford. And the reason being is people don't want a big truck that's electric. They're not used to it yet. They're not ready to make the switch. But this right here is the perfect platform for an electric vehicle. It's inexpensive. You can get a lot of people into it. People who are kind of nervous about going full electric in the first place might shell out the money for a Maverick, but they're not going to shell out the money for an F-150 Lightning. What it is and what its capabilities are, this is the perfect electric platform. So there you go. More horsepower, plug-in hybrid for the people who want hybrids, and an electric platform. Make it all option and give the people what they want, Ford. All right, Ford, we got to move here, and it's these wipers. Nobody likes the wipers. For our northern friends in the snow belt, they need to do this. And these wipers just won't do it, okay? And also, you got this big gully here. This big gully collects a ton of snow, it ices up, and then the wipers won't work at all. Come on, Ford, you do it with your other vehicles. Make some sort of cowling here so the wipers can be lifted up. Help our northern friends. All right, let's move inside. And here's the first thing. What is these blue door panels? You have this beautiful eruption green and you have blue door panels. It just doesn't look good. You got to improve the quality of the plastic. My Bronco has plastic door panels, but they're much better quality. Just improve it a little bit and we'll all be happy. All right, let's spend some time on the interior and tell you what everybody wants and everybody would like to see in the 2028 Ford Maverick. All right, Ford, this first one's an easy one. It's time to ditch the key. The key was good in its time, but it's time to put push start in every vehicle now. So it's time to ditch the key. Here's a big one. It's a controversial one, but it's one that we need to talk about, Ford. It's the rotating dial. I personally like the rotating dial. I just don't like its location, and most people do not. They would rather free this up for either phone chargers or more storage or more cups. And there's no reason the rotating dial can't be placed up here somewhere, just like it's done in this other truck. It just gets it out of the way, frees up the space in the console, and gives you more room. Another thing people want, Ford, especially people that own Lariats and put out the money for a Lariat, they want memory power seats. They don't want their spouse or their children using the car and then have to come back and readjust their seat. There should be a button that they can push and the seat goes back to their position. Just like when somebody else uses the car, there should be a second button they can push and the seat can go back to their position. And another thing that the Lariat owners would like is a power passenger seat, okay? They're paying Lariat prices. They should have Lariat quality. Getting back to our northern friends, they would all like the option of getting the cold weather group and an XLT. They might not want all the bells and whistles of a Lariat, but they still don't want to have a cold behind. So let them get the cold weather group and an XLT and make them happy. Now let's take a look at the rear seat. What a lot of people want is a 60-40 split rear seat back. So if you have 3 people that want to go somewhere and you have a lot of cargo that you don't want to lay on the seat, but you'd rather put it on the seat back, you can sit 3 people. I don't see how that could be such a big deal. Should be easily done. All right, let's move to the back of the truck. All right, Ford, let's keep going. What about this? I have a hybrid, so I have a lock-in gas cap. Well, why should the non-hybrids not have a lock-in gas cap? Some people live in places where they want a lock-in gas cap. So that's real easy. Just add a lock-in gas cap to all models. Let's keep going. All right, Ford, we're almost there. Let's talk about a few things extra, okay? Now remember, these are options. And options makes Ford money, and options makes the people happy. So, what people would like is a few more inches in the bed. Maybe a 5-foot long bed, okay? And if you can't do a 5-foot long bed, what would be really, really appreciated is a midgate. If you take a look at this midgate on a competitive model, you can see how nice it is. People can actually put the rear seats down. If you have a cap, you can sleep in it. If you want to put your kayak in it, if you need something long you want to put in it, especially with the 60-40 split rear seat, it'd be perfect. So think about a midgate if you can't extend the bed. A midgate's a great idea. Another thing people would like, have this Ford Pro Pack, especially in the hybrid Mavericks, because you already have the battery power. 240 volts, 30 amps. Make the people happy, Ford. Now, if it's possible, an in-bed trunk like this one here in another competitive model, that's another great idea. It's a built-in cooler for when you're tailgating, or a little waterproof security locker for when you want to put your stuff in there and you don't want nobody to see it. But like I said, if that's possible in the Maverick, that would be a great option. And we also can't forget about the Lobo. So you introduce the Lobo. That's a great idea. Now you have a high-performance small pickup truck. But you got to make it different than the rest of the Mavericks. So in Europe, you have the Focus ST. That's a 2.3 liter turbo with a 6-speed manual transmission option. And it's a real hot car. It's been a big success for you in Europe for a long time. So in America, put the 2.3 turbo with the 6-speed option in the Lobo and make the Lobo a real sports truck. You got to make the performance of the Lobo different than the rest of the Mavericks, or why would anybody want to buy a Lobo? But if you put a 300 horsepower 2.3 liter turbo in the Lobo, I guarantee you they'll probably go flying off the shelf, Ford. So hey, do that for the people. Well guys, I think we finally made it to the end. We went over everything that everybody wants in the 2028 Ford Maverick. So Ford, like they say down here in the South, get her done. Hey, but listen, if there's anything on my Maverick that you've seen that you might be interested in, plenty of videos on everything that's in this Maverick, and everything's in the description below. And if you like this video, do me a favor. Subscribe, leave a comment, give me a thumbs up. Hey, and you guys have a great day. See you soon.
Cool.